Anons, what were your biggest financial mistakes that everyone here should learn from? Going to college without a clear and defined sense of what I wanted to do. Being brainwashed into going to college. I didn't do the opposite of what Biz said. Buying Chainlink. Not selling my Link stack. I've held all blue chips when they were indie projects and sold on the first plus 20% candle. Without fail, they all proceeded to 10x day after day after day after day. I can't hold rallies for squat. Holding Link when it was 50, thinking it was going to 200, staking my Link stack. Buying a used car. All cars are money pits period, and I got it pretty good. Always being last to everything. I just can't seem to get ahead no matter what I do. I sold my 6 billion Shiba stack for 9 grand, then wasted it all on stable coins and other Pajit scams. Don't go all in on one coin, be realistic on market cap, use the coinperspective.com. Living under a delusion of financial security being correlated with income. Not selling during the last bull run, roughly 350k unrealized gains last run. It can't go up forever, friends. I know seeing your folio jump thousands a day euphoric, but realize those gains while you can. Not selling GME at peak and selling during first dump and buying back in and selling again. Lamau, don't drink in stunks. Don't let old homeless people screw you for $50. They don't have the money and your butt will be red for like 4 months. I bought a car and got scammed into the extended warranty. My advice is don't do that. I went to college and didn't sell my Link. I'm very silly. I agreed to help my lesbian friend get pregnant with my sperm so she and her girlfriend could start a family together. Didn't even have sex and it was all done at home. Needless to say, things didn't work out between them, and when COVID hit they were facing financial difficulty as well. They went after me through courts for alimony payment, and in the eyes of the law I was the father. I got royally screwed and I'm still owing back pay even until today. Crypto is the only thing I have keeping me going and hiding from her greedy paws. I feel like I'm effed if things don't work out and will probably put a bullet in my head and end it all. Taking up a loan while waiting for while PokerStars had my founds, I figured I could just grind when game got back on and I got my bankroll back it out. Trusted Biz, never again. Made 100x in my first day of restarting in 2021 bull, lost almost all of it in JEET scams. I bought my first crypto on PayPal, I just can't escape the gay feeling. Mary. Don't trust Kramer's words. Buying shares in 2 companies in the same industry. I thought I was heading by doing so, the rationale being that if one company failed the other would make it and maybe even prosper more. Turned out I was just doubling my exposure to a single industry segment, and of course that segment went sour and never picked up speed again, lost 40k. Not selling for fiat during scam pumps like this. Keck, I sold my 92 billion stack for about 20k, will regret it for the rest of my life. Not checking my credit report despite never participating in any debt-related service. Finally was looking at buying a house, and apparently someone had been using my identity to register for credit cards and get loans and had been doing so for years. Also, I sold Tesla on October 12, 2019. Yikes. Don't buy a brand new car. Don't buy real estate as an investment if you can't afford to carry it for months, and it's more important to protect capital trading than it is to make it. I didn't buy any stock until 2020 before the Rona crash. I also didn't try hard enough to get a tech job at a pre-IPO company. That kind of easy money opportunity will likely never come again, but I recognize the conditions where it arises and will jump on it if they present themselves again. The biggest mistake is 100% not a thing but a behavior, which is invest in something, anything, early and keep doing it. Don't buy poop coins unless you get in at the bottom. You'll get wrecked eventually. Bought a coin that hit a goal they had listed, but because it was before the proposed date to make the change they didn't make the change, and by the time the change was supposed to be implemented they had rugged. Look who's on the same side of the trade, you. Not knowing how to act with women and going with one when I was 20. Took me 10 years to recover because I had no clue. Deviating from my plan/indicators on gut feeling/FUD. Effing costs me money every effing time. Renting an apartment with my girlfriend when I made $11 an hour. Taking a job that was forced on me under threat of being kicked out of the house that was $11 an hour. Going all in on Bitcoin miners after the 2017 crash with no real consideration of how I would set them up, after extreme emotional turmoil, being institutionalized against my will and being kicked out of my great-grandmother's house over petty trivialities. I then sold those Bitcoin miners at a pretty substantial loss. Buying Chainlink, not selling Chainlink, staking Chainlink, converting Bitcoin into Chainlink, converting Ethereum into Chainlink. Number 1, don't buy BNB tokens. Number 2, don't be afraid to spend some of your money. I went all in on a poop coin and didn't even get to buy anything for myself. Not buying Bitcoin when I heard about it in 2011. Meet a girl through a dating app in 2019. We're both dirt poor. I'm making about 55k Aussie dollar per year at the time. She's an international student from FIS on minimum wage, also paying about 20k per year in tuition. Her parents back home are typical third world tier poor. She doesn't really send them any remittance money anymore, but her eventual goal is to save enough to build a little house for her parents and build a business for them so they have some passive income. At the time, I don't care. We genuinely enjoy each other's company, and her presence in my life makes me look forward to the weekends when we can spend time together. I land a job in a different city, more than double my pay. Now I make around $120K per year, more if I work some overtime shifts here and there. COVID happens and she loses her job, so I make the offer for her to come and live with me and get back on her feet. In she moves. She loves me dearly and wants to spend the rest of her life with me, even though I don't support her financially, make her pay a fair share of rent, etc. A couple of years later, we're now approaching our late 20s. COVID financial policy has made my $120K feel like absolutely fuck all. She's getting to the stage where she wants kids, and while she makes a little bit more than she used to, she'd still only pull in maybe $70K per year. Want to break up with her and let her find someone who can support her better while giving me the opportunity to get my life together, study and move into a higher income career. In the last few years she has been living under the assumption that I would go in on a partnership visa for her so she can stay in country and study a degree without having to pay $150K, which she straight up can't afford to get into a better career herself. She has a year and a half left on her current professional visa, and if I break up with her it basically means she'll end up having to move back to the third world, not using a multi-sig. Bayhorse, nuff said. Not selling my SHIB stack I got for $3 that was worth $120K in October 2022. Pouring money into crappy cars that I liked. Don't do that, just get something reliable. I never had money, so I never made mistakes, at one time probably smoking and buying fast food, but that's it. I'm a simple man living a simple, comfy, neat life. I'm working on having enough money to continue this lifestyle together with a woman that also likes the gamer neat lifestyle and outdoor fitness. You can't be a fat neat or you die really soon of heart disease related crap. Student loans and college, of course. I would have done infinitely better by just going to work straight out of high school and investing, even stupidly. I don't even want to think about being flush with cash when Bitcoin was released. Buying poop coins. Not buying Bitcoin at $500 when I had the chance, believing too much in Link, and I didn't save enough money to buy the dipwhip Mina and or are super cheap. Don't marry your bags in a bull market after 2 years. DCA out in bull markets, DCA in during bears. Also Bitcoin maxi equals mentally ill. I sold alts early as heck and would have retired in 2021 had I kept my alt bags. Do not under any circumstances fraternize with bag holders in a low cap. Do not develop friendships with other bag holders. Unless you want to reject urges to sell the top because it'll hurt much internet familia. Taking profits now and then, it's best we do it like that, since I realized I take my profits every week. I'm currently staking UTK, BNB, Bust, Atom and Juno. Don't start a business if you're not willing to do the work or find someone who will. Don't use shady exchanges. I bought SHIB in January 2021, $2.3 billion for like $200. ETH transaction fees were like $200 and my SHIB fell to worth $50. On a Sunday morning transaction fees fell to like $50, so I sent my SHIB to the only exchange that listed it, Hotbit. SHIB did a 2000x and Hitbit got hacked. Then while it was hacked, SHIB did a 10x from the 2000x and I couldn't sell. I had 80K and couldn't sell. Then when SHIB fell I could access it again. It was trading on Hotbit for 20% less than everywhere else. I went to transfer it out and the fee was over $2,000, so I sold to BNB and moved my funds out for under $1. I let Hotbit sour me on SHIB and then missed out on the huge August rally, FML. I fell for the GME meme, and looking at the GME general is a constant reminder of how stupid I was. I genuinely believed in it all. I fell for the IPO meme. No, not an eco, I'm talking stocks here. Coinbase, when they came on the market. If you look at a chart, it has only been a downward spiral since. Not gonna like, I'm still kinda mad, but this taught me a valuable lesson and I still keep coin on my stock watch list as a reminder to not be so effing stupid. Reduced user trust due to be autistic. Didn't implement measures that could have saved my platform or at least allow me to salvage more capital due to being scared of FUD. Don't be greedy, learn when to take a loss or learn when to sell and take profit. Avoid individual stocks unless you have the ability to check on them every single day when the markets open. If you have so much money in a single asset or group of assets that it causes you stress, you're taking on too much risk. Think before buying and selling an asset. Don't panic, don't react to FOMO or FUD. In my case, I made the right call on energy stocks in March 2020. My problem? I bought Russian stocks and got greedy. I was up 120% and didn't sell because I wanted to hold on to them for the dividends. We all know what happened 2 years later. Why Russian stocks got crushed. I saw the risk increasing in February but blew it off as more media propaganda. Why? Because the mainstream media has been claiming every year since 2014 that the Russians were going to invade Ukraine and they never did before 2022. Literally in a 1-week period I watched my $20,000 profits turn into a $20,000 capital loss as I was force liquidated by the US government. The ironic part is the sanctions banned Americans and Europeans from buying Russian stocks. So Americans and Europeans were forced to sell at massive losses to Russian, Indian and Chinese investors. We ironically helped foreign adversaries by forcing our own people to sell at massive losses to our enemies. I wasn't expecting the US to go full sillyhead, but they did. Sadly, my Luke Oil stock would have paid me a $6,000 dividend that year and my Gazprom would have paid me another $3,000. Luke Oil had its highest earnings in the last 7 years during that period too. Turns out fundamentals don't matter if the government doesn't like somebody. Human psychology and emotion will always overrule fundamentals and technicals. This is why you can see companies that have been unprofitable for a decade skyrocket in price. I hope this helps OP. Not buying meme coins before they started trending. Now I'm buying privacy and AI tokens because I'm not making the same mistakes no more. You don't need to make it from one trade. I have $15,000 Link and I didn't sell at $50, take profits. Not pulling lick from a token that would have made me a millionaire lol. Research what you buy first. Don't just buy a coin because of a thread on here unless you don't want to see that money anymore. Not buying Bitcoin early, even thought I was aware of it. Selling Bitcoin too early during the last run up, sold at $25,000 instead of $60,000. Not just holding my Nintendo stock and selling early and missing 90% of the run up. Not just holding my Tesla stocks and selling early and missing 90% of the run up. Not pumping more money into Link when it was below $1. Made many smaller financial mistakes swapping between stuff and altcoins. Playing with leverage and options because I thought I could learn fast through trial and error, lost $30,000. Shacking up with women in my early 20s despite still being in school and not making any money, which led me to burn through my savings, which should have gone into Bitcoin. Not pursuing a higher income earlier, which would have allowed me to invest into Bitcoin early. That being said, I also made many good trades and now I'm financially secure, but it took a long time and many mistakes, and if I wasn't so silly when I was young I could have made it many times over.